Ever since I can remember, I've been fascinated by how things work and how they can be made to work better. That's what led me to study sciences at school, systems engineering at university, and spend a lot of my youth stripping down, sorting out and souping up cars. I got hooked into systems thinking early on. Unlike relatively simple and boring one-way cause and effect mechanisms, what makes systems so fascinating are their leverage points, the places where a relatively small amount of applied effort generates disproportionate returns. In other words, where you get big results for a small amount of effort. My original career focus was on electronic control systems, first at British Aerospace and then at the BBC. In 1983, I joined Cambridge Consultants, a global leader in open innovation services, helping clients around the world to improve business performance through the application of science, technology and engineering to create innovative new products and services. In helping clients achieve business benefits from leading edge technologies, our work also involved getting their people in different functions and departments to work more effectively across internal boundaries. This aspect of our work is what first led me to see an organisation's culture as the system of mindsets forming and informing people's awareness of the way we do things around here. An early aha moment in my career was seeing just how quickly innovation and agility kicked in after an effective shift in mindsets. Now, this flew in the face of the received wisdom that culture change is inevitably a long, slow, drawn out and often painful process. Discovering that it really doesn't have to be this way drew me away from just helping clients acquire the technologies they needed to build innovative products and services, to helping them achieve the mindset shifts they needed to build innovative, agile organisations. My work in this area attracted the attention of the head of the technology and innovation management practice at our parent company, the global consulting firm Arthur D. Little. Most of his consultants were experts in helping clients develop their technology strategies, platforms, roadmaps and product creation processes. But many of his senior executive clients around the world were also looking for help in bringing innovation and agility to life in their organisations, so he pulled me in to work with them. At that time, most big international organisations were interested in becoming learning organisations, following the 1990 publication of Peter Senge's The Fifth Discipline, a book that Harvard Business Review called one of the seminal management works of the previous 75 years. I was already naturally aligned with Senge's work, which is not that surprising given that the fifth discipline of the title is systems thinking. So I was absolutely delighted when in 1995 ADL acquired Senge's consulting firm, Innovation Associates, and many of the world's leading organisational learning experts became professional colleagues and personal friends. I've been extremely fortunate to have had many world-class thought leaders as colleagues over the years. Two in particular, Peter Scott Morgan and Joan Lancourt, had major impacts on my professional work ever since. Peter was my personal mentor for over 15 years, until he retired in 2007. In the early 1990s, he developed what's still one of the world's most pragmatic approaches to organisational culture change, set out in McGraw-Hill's International Business Book of the Year in 1994, The Unwritten Rules of the Game. The core premise behind the Unwritten Rules approach is that even though the actions, interactions, attitudes and behaviours of people can sometimes seem strange, surprising or simply bizarre, these are always based on a compelling underlying logic. This hidden logic and the unwritten rules that stem from it provide vital insights into the system of mindsets that form and inform the way we do things around here. And the very highest leverage place to intervene in that system is to focus precisely and deeply on the key influencers whose mindsets systemically affect everyone and everything else. What we saw time and again in client organisations all over the world is that the key influencers aren't always people in the most senior positions. We were often brought in by clients to help them recover from earlier consulting interventions that had wrongly assumed that senior people always dictate the culture, and as a result had failed to focus precisely enough and deeply enough on the real key influencers. The other colleague who had a big impact on my work was Joan Lancourt. Joan had led one of the most incisive research studies ever conducted into organisational transformation with two of her colleagues, Ed Nevis and Helen Vassallo, at MIT Sloan School. Together they'd uncovered profound insights into the secrets of successful transformation, described in their 1996 book Intentional Revolutions. They discovered that an organisation's culture becomes embedded via the signals people pick up through 7 channels that collectively create and colour their perception of the way we do things around here. The most successful organisational transformations happen when the signals in all these 7 channels are aligned and mutually reinforcing. And whilst about half of these channels are actively exploited in most organisational change approaches, the other half usually get ignored, overlooked or misused, causing the intended transformation to slow down, stall or come completely off the rails. The research found that the strongest signals in the 7 channels come from the attitudes and behaviours of influential people, confirming the vital importance of shifting key influencer mindsets and offering useful insights into how to go about making such shifts happen in practice. After 18 years with ADL Group in 2001, I left big consulting to set up in private practice so I could continue to focus fully on helping senior executive clients mobilise, marshal and motivate their people to build innovative, agile organisations. To find out more, check out my website where you can also register to receive my free weekly emails with information, inspirations and insights from more than 30 years experience helping build innovative, agile organisations throughout Europe, Asia and the US. As a bonus, I'll also send you a free copy of my Senior Executive Guide to Overcoming the 5 Fatal Habits that have consistently killed off the vast majority of attempts to build innovative, agile organisations over the past 25 years.